In this scenario, I'm going to show you how we can configure active timer in EIGRP. You know that by default active time is 3 minutes. Now I want to show you how we can configure the active timer in the classic EIGRP configuration and also in the named EIGRP configuration. Here we have a simple scenario. I configured this scenario with EIGRP like previous videos. And this is the step 1, draw the topology in EVE-NG, and also step 2, interface IP address assignment and no shutdown command in router 1, 2, and 3. Step 3, configure classic EIGRP in router 1 and router 2, and then step 4, configure named EIGRP in router 3. I did all of these steps because of that now we have connectivity between the router 1 and router 3, ping 2.3.3. As you can see, we have connectivity. All right, first let me to show you the default active timer in router 1, router 2, and router 3. With show IP protocol, you can see that the default active timer is 3 minutes. Also in the router 2 show IP protocols, again the default active timer is 3 minutes. And also in the router 3 that we configured with the named mode EIGRP, the show IP protocols can show us the default active timer is 3 minutes. Let me to configure or change the active timer in these routers. The step 5 says configure EIGRP active time as 2 minutes in router 1, router 2, and router 3. Don't forget, it is not mandatory to configure same active time in all routers. You can configure different active times in different routers, but it is recommended to use the same value. In the router 1, let me to configure it, configure terminal. Under the router EIGRP1, you need to use these commands, timers, active time, and after that, here we have two options. A value between 1 to 65,535. This is the actually active timer in minutes. And also you can use disabled option. This disables time limit for active state. What does it mean? It means that it will remain in the active state forever. Because of that, you can use this option, but this is not recommended because maybe this will result to the stocking active forever. Okay, because of that, let me to use timers active time, and after that, for example, 2 according to our scenario, show IP protocols can show us that now the active timer is 2 minutes, and after that in the router 2, a router EIGRP1, and then timers active time 2, and finally in the router 3, look at here, configure terminal router EIGRP. Here I configured router EIGRP lab, and then address family IPv4 unicast for autonomous system 1. Look at here, under the topology base, you have the option of the timers active time, exactly same command, only you need to go to the topology base, timers active time, and here we have again the same options, for example 2. And then show IP protocols can show us that the active timer now is 2 minutes. Because of that, now we know how we can configure active time in EIGRP classic configuration and also in EIGRP named configuration.